And we're live from the Res, here with two dark natives.
Here we go. I'm Andre, co-host. We got Raul Chrisman. We have a pretty awesome guest today, Joe the Durbin. How you doing,
The man.
What's going on?
The man, the myth, the legend. What else?
Not yet.
Not yet. Soon to be.
I'm coming out of infamy and trying to be famous. You know,
No, dude, I announced that last night.
There's infamous and then there's famous. Like, I'm trying to stay away from the infamous. You know, it's like I show up to people's houses and then you hear them whispering inside. It's like, maybe he'll go away.
Get down. No, you don't know what the electric bill. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to rebuild your car. I'm not that guy.
You already took what we had last weekend.
Now, do you ever feel like some people don't know how to receive you like that, though?
Oh, yeah, no, it gets like that because prime example is like in recovery. Like I'm in recovery. I got September. If I make it to September, it'll be 9 years.
9 years.
You know, drug
9 years drug free?
Drug free.
Dang! Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks.
A long time.
And so like I've met a ton of people in recovery. I put myself out there, you know, because I like meeting new people and stuff like that. But I'm like they just see. You know what I mean? They see
Your flip flops.
Right, they see the flip.
Joe is not dressed normal right now.
Yeah.
He's normal, but he's not dressed normal.
He dressed up, he put a t-shirt on.
Yeah, it's a little cool. I actually have my boots
He has
on.
boots on.
I actually have boots
by the
on.
way.
Most of the time I wear sandals.
He's got the reverse Nazi boots on. They're like,
No red laces.
no white laces on
They're
their
red,
chest.
yeah, they're red laces, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, no, people, they don't know how to like take me at first, I guess, until they get to talk to me a little bit, and I just like to have fun. You know, like I said, before I got clean, I was just miserable, and everything was like always so serious for no reason, you know, but that's the way it goes when you're, you know, chasing dope. But I just like to have fun now and joke around and laugh, and because it's like life's too short to be, like, I didn't get clean to be miserable
Right.
all the time. And I see a lot of people like that just in life.
Me.
Like, yeah.
Me 20 minutes ago, fight with a lady. I'm just kidding.
Holy.
I'm just kidding. I'm actually not, but go ahead.
Seriously, that
That's true,
happened,
though.
but
Yeah, we all saw it. We're all family here, so it's okay. I don't care when it's like, when we have other guests here, it's like, okay, honey, we're going to put smaller now. But no, today, yes, I see it.
Hold on. Yeah.
But no, that's true, man. You got to live that healthy, a good life, right? That's what it's
Yeah,
talking
man, because I don't want to be one of them old motherfuckers, like,
about. Damn, you keep talking about me.
I just don't want to be one of them old crabby motherfuckers that you see, you know, hey, slow down by my house, you know, it's like, you know, like, get your kids out of here, you know?
99% of our elders sometimes.
Right,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, you know, people just forget what they used to do when they were young.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like I remember hearing stories from my mom, like about so and so. You know, like they were snagging their cousin, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, but hey, let's not talk about that. You know what I mean? Let's talk about
Different
me.
times.
Yeah, let's talk about me when I burned you for like, you know, $400 or something. You know? Oh, you know, my bad. You know what I mean?
But you definitely have an image, like, because I know people will say, like, who's that? Like, my nephew said this one time. He was like, who's that dude with, like, the vest, the no shirt, and the flops? And I was like, oh, Durbin. I knew right off the bat. I knew who that is.
Yeah.
And which is funny because it's kind of like a holdout. Like, up in SY area, I remember, may he rest in peace, but look, Pat used to be up there. No shoes, no shirt. And, you know, when I teach, like, history classes, and I'm talking about our old people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how, they used to walk around barefooted.
Yeah.
And they didn't wear a lot of clothes.
No.
And it always comes to my mind is him because I think, like, he's like that. He represents that old traditional way of being within nature. You know, we all want to be like in nature, but then it gets cold. Where's my jackets? It gets hot. Like, oh, where's the shade?
Yeah, like,
but
I
reality,
mean,
like being in nature. I think you're kind of doing that, man.
Yeah,
you might be one of the last ones.
It's like if I get cold, of course I'm gonna, you know,
cover.
I'm, you know, like anybody else that's smart, I'm gonna cover myself.
Yeah, wear
You
underwear.
know what I
weather.
mean? But like before contact, wear underwear.
This is chony weather. I
They
used to
say
play ball.
Saturday. That was on the 3rd. This is the 15th. But you know that like before contact, like people
Leather
went around
thong before contact.
pretty much naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know it's like
Rules, yeah.
Those who don't know Durbin, when we talk about he's wearing a vest, it's a cutoff vest, right? It's a cutoff, no sleeve,
That's a muscle vest.
and legit. There's no, he doesn't have an undershirt on.
no. I mean I keep my shirt in my car just in case it might get a little chilly. But I mean you guys see me out there,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's a good vest, you know. It's to me, it's
it's
a
a great
representative of all the militant history that our people have had in the last, you know, I guess 50 years now, really 40 years for sure, of like fighting for our rights and stuff. And
Yeah, a lot of good stuff came from the American Indian movement.
yeah,
You know, no matter what anybody's opinion is on it. I mean, everybody got their own opinion. You know, a lot of people are like, fuck AIM. You know, but a lot of stuff came about from the movement.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You
That's
know?
honest though. I think that's what you got going for you, man. Is that you're
Yeah,
honest about all this. Because you know, when I met you, I can remember like maybe not the first time I met you, because I think I might have met you before that. But I mean, the first time I really talked to you was like legit SY. Like it was old school SY, so there was a fire. You know, I'm talking to my cousin Gator, and like maybe Dean has his band playing. You know, it's a party. You know, and in those days, the old school cats are all drinking Coors Original.
Yeah.
You know, it's a party. Younger cats are drinking Coors Light or something or whatever, you know, but it was like you were there.
Natties.
And I don't know what you were on, but you were talking to Gator and you guys were going nuts, man. That was just cracking me
That's
up.
probably
just
whiskey.
talking. Yeah,
I drank a lot of whiskey back then.
But then I didn't see you for a while, and then I seen you somewhere, and you were roughing it, man. You were going through it. And then I seen you again, and you were Saquon Powwow. Remember you rolled in with your lady, or your friend. She was a friend. You guys were both going through, you know, improving yourselves, and you were like, hey man, I'm sober, I'm doing good, and I was like, man, I almost didn't recognize you because you were a whole different person.
Yeah.
But that's just
And I
what
got
you did.
fatter too, because I was like
Yeah.
probably like 50 pounds lighter than what I am now. When I got clean, I weighed like, I don't know, like 170 or something like that. Yeah, and so I gained like, I think the heaviest I got. I'm losing weight now because I'm, you know, union iron worker again. But I weighed like 220 something. You know,
Yeah.
when I lived in North Dakota, and all I did was like drive around in a truck. There wasn't really any kind of physical, you know what I mean? There wasn't kind of any physical labor or anything. It was just, you know, we drove around, we ate at truck stops, you know, for lunch. You know what I mean? And that was it. There wasn't really, I wasn't going anywhere because I mean we were working long hours. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'd leave to go to work in the morning. I wouldn't come back till like 3 in the morning. You know what I mean? And so like I remember,
Hard
like,
work, man.
yeah, a lot of work weeks there. I was hitting 40 hours by Wednesday morning. You know, and I remember working 80 to 100 hours a week for, you know, a few different months, you know, on end. So I mean, I've been pretty much in every state west of the Mississippi except for Washington.
That's very high up though.
Yeah, I've been almost everywhere, pretty much everywhere. Utah, Oklahoma.
What's the
everywhere.
first you've ever driven at one time?
The longest I've ever driven?
One time.
One time, 26 hours.
It's a lot of hours, man.
26 hours, Watford City, North Dakota to San Diego. And I left, it's a 26 hour drive, and I stopped in Vegas to try to get some sleep, and they kicked me out of the parking lot. The guy was, you know, he was just doing his job. It wasn't like, hey, get the fuck out of here, you know what I mean? He was like, hey bro, you're gonna get me in trouble. You know, like you can either rent a room or, you know, you gotta go down somewhere, you know, like a parking ride or somewhere. And I was like, man, like, look at my plates, bro. I just drove it from North Dakota, you know what I mean? And so I was on the road about, you know, 15, 18 hours by then. And so I got like maybe an hour of sleep, and I just continued on. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go. And I bought a bunch of energy drinks, and I drove. Now the last recent drive that I did, I went from Yucaipa, California.
Is that Northern California outside of Yosemite? Is that what it's at? Or
No. This is right. It's like San Bernardino. I think.
Okay.
Or,
Okay.
yeah, San Bernardino.
I've never seen the name. I was trying to get place.
So,
Okay.
I went from Yucaipa. 24 hours later, I was in Omaha, Nebraska. We drove all day and night, and then from Omaha, we drove up to the cities, which the cities is Minneapolis, St. Paul. So we drove from Omaha to Minneapolis. So I had somebody with me to drive that. So I got some sleep. We switched off. She drove, You know what I mean? And so I made it there, dropped her and her kids off. That was, I believe, Saturday afternoon. I left at like 3 in the afternoon. And then I got back to San Diego Sunday night at 9 a.m. or 9 o'clock at night. So I drove from Minneapolis all the way to San Diego from Saturday afternoon till Sunday night. And I witnessed a crash. Dude crashed into these, right before you come up the grade, I watched this dude smash into a back of a toy hauler. And like, it was bad. Like his leg was like, yeah, it was bad. Like his ankle got knocked. You know what I mean? Like his foot got knocked. Yeah, so it was just kind of laying there. You know what I mean? And that was pretty much it. He probably had maybe some broken ribs or something. I don't know. But
sing him his death song, leave him there.
Yeah, he I did.
Can't help you.
Sorry, bro. So like, yeah, and it was so close. And so the thing is like they tell you to like move over into the fast lane when you see people on the shoulder, and this is a prime example. The guy didn't move over. He was obviously tired or looking at his phone or something. And he just slammed it like 70 miles an hour into the back of this thing.
And then that wakes you up.
I was already awake watching it, but it like startled me because he hit the thing and then all the debris flew into my lane. And so like at 70, I kind of swerved around. I ran over his bumper. You know,
were you in your truck?
Yeah, I was in my truck.
Yeah, man.
And I pulled off into the center divide, and I jumped out. And I was on the phone with emergency services and stuff. And I said, "Hey, look, we're in the middle of the desert outside of Yuma." Outside of El Centro, and you know, you can't miss us. Just, you know, I said, I'm calling. This is my, you know, Good Samaritan thing. I'm on my way back from Minneapolis to San Diego where I live, and here's my number or whatever. And so they never called me back. So obviously they got to the guy, and you know, he's probably doing good. But his leg was from the ankle. You know what I mean? It was gnarly.
Side to see
it was gnarly. There was like 4 people there that pulled over and stopped and stuff too and shit. And, but the people that he slammed into, they were fucking assholes.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were dicks, and it was like, you know, shit happens. You guys that's what you pay insurance for. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was crazy. That one I thought I was gonna die when I got to San Diego because I was up for so long and almost crashed. And
you didn't think you're hallucinating?
Yeah, no, I was because I drank like 6 red lines in 24 hours.
And those motherfuckers, they start to fuck with you after too many. Yeah.
And those red lines, there's 2 servings in a bottle about that big.
Yeah.
You know what I like to drink when I'm really tired? Coffee, extra black.
Methamphetamine.
Pretty much same. 3 molecules different with some sugar and a little bit of cream.
Just a little gas.
I drove all the way to San Diego, and then I drove back, and then I drove halfway back again before I realized that I didn't need to do that.
Wait.
Yeah, what am I doing?
Just take a nap.
I just wanted to drive.
Before getting all this gas, dude.
I know, right?
Hey, do you drink coffee or no?
I drink coffee.
You have a Keurig?
I take it a little sweet. I don't have a Keurig, but those things are cool.
Let me tell you though, they're a little addicting because I have
fucking addicting.
It kind of messes me
I like
up.
the Dunkin' Donuts one or the, you know what I mean?
I go straight to the Starbucks by
now. The Starbucks, yeah.
That is crack. Notice the donut one's best.
But I mean, if I don't really. It all depends on my mood. Like sometimes I'll just use creamer, no sugar.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's black with some sugar.
My work got, so we had like a pot, like, you know, a little fucking regular one. But then, I don't know how it came to be, but the company bought a Keurig one, like a nice Keurig. They bought
one of those.
Yeah. Good ones. And then, and I didn't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee at all. But like what you said, like they're addicting. Like they're straight up, they're a little different. But I never drink coffee, like ever. I don't eat it. I just don't drink it. And then one time it was like cold as fuck in our office. I was like tired.
Yeah. And that's when it starts.
I threw one in. I've literally been drinking one every day.
Wow.
But yeah, we fucking do there's Starbucks in there. We have fucking the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, the Dunkin' Donuts, man. I just keep it simple, you know, the Dunkin' Donuts.
But I gotta fuck with the creamer, dude. I ain't gonna lie.
You know,
I do. I throw some water. That's the problem. Is it's so it's like when you make a pot of coffee, you can make it watery. You're not so strong.
Yeah.
It's just really like strong and potent. So I throw some water in there, and what happens is it throws you into that roller coaster where you get shot up if you don't do that, And then like when you come down, like, oh, I need another glass, and it's so convenient.
Yeah.
Takes 10 seconds to make.
10 seconds.
So
Yeah.
I ended up drinking like 3 cups of that. I used to just drink 1 cup of coffee.
I like drinking coffee,
You know?
like, from the time I wake up to noon to where I'm visibly shaking.
Yeah.
And then, try to battle my anxiety for the rest of the day.
It's go time.
Yeah, it's now this is happening. So, but yeah, I mean, the gnarliest coffee I've ever drinking, if you guys ever get a chance, I know you guys ain't,
Big coffee drink.
like big coffee drinkers or a drug addict like myself, but you go to an NA meeting and
Well, my drug of choice is sugar,
God.
but no.
Yeah, like, so the NA meeting coffee is literally like coffee that I had at camp out in North Dakota.
The cowboy,
Oh yeah, the cowboy coffee was
midnight
just
oil coffee.
water, coffee grounds in the pot. You throw it on the water or on the fire, and as soon as you see it start boiling out of the spout, you just get your little there's like an inch of grounds at the bottom of your cup.
I had
You
that
know
for
what I
the
mean?
first
Like-
time not so long ago. That
Yeah,
shit
and
is
so
pretty
like
good.
that NA coffee is like that sometimes because
See, I call that weight coffee because it weights like that, and those ladies will make it like that.
So yeah, that's a prime example
Yeah.
of weight coffee. Yep, same thing.
And the two
Yeah,
bad
it's
side effects is
like,
one, you'll
whoa.
start cramping, you don't have some
yeah.
water or food, and the
Oh,
other one, it'll give you gas, man. So you're there, you
Yeah.
go sing, and you're like, oh, I'm
You're
gonna go
all
outside for a
singing.
second, yeah.
Right in the gut.
Yeah, your arm cramps up.
No.
Was he having a stroke?
Hey, one thing I notice is like if I go to meetings, like sometimes I'll go to these meetings and I'll say to myself, I don't want to say too much. I just kind of want to listen, and then I'll start drinking some coffee and then another cup because you're kind of like listening, and then there's a moment at which the coffee hits, boom, and it's like, I just got one question. I got one thing to say.
40 minutes later, like, okay, thank you for your share.
Turned into an instant elder. I'm just like to share an old story.
It's a PowerPoint now.
Yeah.
It's a PowerPoint. It's like, whoa, where'd you get this projector?
I'm sorry, the coffee just hit. I apologize. You didn't have to leave the meeting. Everyone's like, who invited that guy? He's not even part of this committee.
That's funny.
Is that how those meetings are though? Do you see that? The coffee hits or?
Yeah, you see the people
Yeah.
like that. And the coffee, because people come in messed up, man. Sometimes there's no requirement. Well, I mean, the only requirement for membership is the desire to stop using. That's it.
They don't test because
There's no nothing in NA. It's like if you want to stop, we got a place for you. And this, I've been told, well, you got clean, you can do it the white, you do it the white man way. I'm like, okay.
Man way.
I'm
You know what's messed up about
somebody
that?
somebody told me that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you know what? I got clean. I'm not one of these dudes that got clean and I'm res clean.
Yeah.
So res clean is like I quit shooting dope,
Yeah.
but I still smoke weed or drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll
That's
ask you that.
That's res
True.
clean. I'm
Okay.
100% clean. I don't do drugs, and I don't smoke weed. I don't need none of that. I don't drink.
Okay.
And that's smoking weed was never our way. Like people, back they weren't running around high all the time.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
You know what I mean?
Talking
Like-
about doing something the white man way. These problems were brought with the European.
Yeah.
The Europeans and the Americanization.
Whatever they're telling me I'm doing it the white man
So how
way
you
while
gonna-
they're calling
yeah.
me on the phone. You know what I mean? They're calling me on the cell phone from their white man.
But you
phone.
could
I'm
be
like,
doing it the Wakanda way. Does it matter? As long as you're getting clean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not robbing
Yeah.
your house anymore. You know, just to be lucky that I
Get your
did.
fucking gas.
No need for lateral hate, right? Just everybody help
Yeah,
each
so
other
they
out.
told
you
me
know?
that, and I was like, "What?" I said,
get
"But the thing is it works for me.
Yeah.
It may not work for you.
Okay.
I don't push that on people like religion. I don't push that stuff on you.
Sure.
I have my own beliefs. I know it works for me. I know that I've seen it work for my friends. And that's what attracted me. I seen it work for this guy that said every time he got loaded, he ended up committing armed robbery. And he was one of my. He's a counselor. He was one of my old counselors. He said every time I got loaded, I ended up with a gun in my hand. And I was like, God damn. And so at the time that I got clean, he had like 12 or 13 years. And I thought to myself, I said, if it can work for this man,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
All these years, and it's just one day at a time. That's it. It's like, I don't have to stay clean forever. All I need to do is try to stay clean today. All I need to do, and let's even break it down even farther than that. All I need to do is try to stay clean till lunchtime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if it's that bad of a day for me, it's like, look,
Sure.
I can make it till lunch. I can make it till lunch break. Okay, cool. Okay, lunch is over. Let's see if I can make it home.
And I think even people that aren't even like doing hard stuff, you know, like if you get angry or if you want your drinking problem.
Well, the addiction is across the board. It doesn't include. It doesn't include. I mean, drugs is part of it, but you got gambling.
Yeah.
You got sex. You got. I can have an addiction to beads. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if it's
why you look at me like that?
like upside eye.
Meanwhile, my elbow's going out. I got an arthritic elbow. My finger looks like it's callous.
I'm selling cars for
left
my
eyes.
beads, you know, my wife, like, where's my jewelry at? Like,
took it apart to rebeat it for an earring.
Oh my God.
That's
true though.
Format,
but that's what it is though. It's like a roadmap. Yeah, it's like a format, you know, and the steps help me deal with me.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. It helps me deal with me, so that way I can better deal with you, everybody in society. And I mean.
All right, and we're back here live on the res with our buddy Joey Durbin. He's sharing some of his stories, things like that. So
life lessons, man.
Life lessons. Hard life lessons.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing that I think about all the time is because I've never done any drugs or anything, but you can learn a lot from other people. You don't have to be engaged with that person on a fucking daily basis, but you can see people from the outside view. And I've seen the struggle that you've been through. I remember you when I was younger, and then seeing you now, you're a fucking completely different person as far as that addiction goes. But obviously you're that staying, that you're still grounded in some sort of way of yourself, and you may it shows obviously that you are your own person. And I think people get so fixated on who you are as a person and not see the struggles you've been through, and because they don't know.
Yeah,
they're super naive to that.
And that's the whole thing. I just try to live, even back then, I mean, I really didn't give a shit. And so like now, even today, I really don't fucking care what you say or think about me. You know what I mean? And it's the bottom line. Like, and I've told people, like, there's nothing you can say or call me that my mom already hasn't. And that's the truth. I love my mom to death, but like a lot of my issues stem from like, family trauma like that. Just growing up, stuff like that. You get hit, you get, whatever. Discipline.
I think that's a lot more common than we want to admit.
People, it's like, hey, look, people go to drinking or doing drugs for whatever, reason. Hanging out, peer pressure. Like real traumatic shit, like getting raped or just being in and out of the system. Not having parents. And so I use drugs to cope with life. And my problems and stuff, and that's originally what it came down to. And I got like I said, I got my own issues that I've worked on and this and that, and I don't do it as much. Like the old guy might come out every once in a while, and like at the job site, I don't know how many months ago or whatever, me and this dude got into it. You know what I mean? And it pretty much came to a head, and it was like, look, dude, you're not gonna talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And so like 8:30 in the morning at the job site, we're fucking boxing.
8:30 in the morning.
We're boxing.
Yeah.
And so then like nobody had work for a while, right? And then we came back and I seen him and shit, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? You been working? I was like, no, man, I had like one day in the last week. He's like, oh yeah, me too and shit. And so the whole dynamic of mine and his relationship changed, because before he was like, I don't know, like trying to poke the fucking the old bear or the old fucking cow or and like his whole demeanor had changed and stuff, because he knew now that he could only talk to me a certain way. And it's like,
so America, let this be known, you don't play with Joey Durbin. You know what I mean?
That's a big thing though.
But it's not just me. It's like, I think
that's a man
I think it's just anybody in general, even women.
Well, because I think the only difference between that is like women will like be pissed about it and they'll keep it going. Whereas men, like you said,
and then they poison you.
Whoa,
Joey Durbin said that. I did not say that. Honey, I would never say that.
This shit weed tastes funny.
I've been eating McDonald's for 2 weeks right now. Just all clears out.
Like, is it the same acorn mushroom again? You know what I mean? Like, wow.
But no, I think that's like a self-respect you give yourself. You let people treat you a certain way, and then you wind up treating them bad, and it only goes bad. But you gotta let people treat you the way you let them, right?
Right, exactly. I can only allow so much, and that's what like I said, that's what it came to.
Yeah.
And that's just, one moment
But
in
that's
our
good though,
lives or
showing
whatever,
self-love for yourself, self-respect for
Are you
yourself.
guys cool
man.
now?
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, me and him are cool. I haven't seen him in a while because I've moved on from that company. But I mean, like I said, we worked for a whole solid week together. Everything was cool, you know.
I mean, I had a similar experience, and I realized what my trigger was, because people can be whatever, and I'm like, whatever, I don't, you know, I kind of, I'll throw some humor out, or just like, whatever,
You're
leave
right.
people alone. But what I realized is my kids, man. Someone disrespected my kid a while back, not too long ago, and then they seen me, and then they were being weird about it, and then to me, I checked them. Because I was like, I realized, like, why did I get so crazy about that? Then I realized why it was. You can't check my kids in front of me. You know, my boys look like grown men, but they're still young kids.
They're young.
So if a man checks them, they're not, no, my boys aren't going to step, I am, because I'm a grown man. Until they're grown men, I have to jump in. And I'll drop it, you know.
Yeah, they do.
Right there, man. They look older than me.
I mean,
my boys look bigger than me.
But they are young, man. They're little kids. And I have to do that myself because I talk to them, you know.
Yeah.
And I talk to them, I talk to, you know, even the little ones.
And if I see stuff like that, which I did, you know, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, you have to, man.
It's just, you know, that's what really pisses me off with people just in the world is being rude for no reason.
No reason.
Yeah.
No reason whatsoever. Like, hey, hi, how you doing? Like, I have no fucking respect for you if I introduce myself and you don't even like say, you know, greet me back or whatever. Like to me, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion.
I think it's a native culture thing.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, look, hey, nice to meet you, I'm so-and-so. And I've had to catch myself because I've had women do that with me. You know, like I was introduced to somebody and they were just like, gave me like the side eye and they were like, okay, Ann. And I was like, nice to meet you, you know what I mean? I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so's boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
I'm not coming at you, I'm just trying to
right, it was an ex, it was like her auntie. You know what I mean? And she was like, and so somebody else had to explain to her, you know what I mean? And she was like, oh, did I hurt your feelings? And I was like, no, you're being fucking rude. You know, and I was like, I was like,
that's funny.
She was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I was like, well, check it out. Let me unring this bell real quick, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, reintroduce myself and stuff like that, but it's just stuff like that, little stuff, man.
But you know, I think that comes from our culture though, because if you think like you know, we get done singing, we shake the hands. You know, at funerals, you're shaking hands. You know, old guys come up. You know, as a respect, you give back, shake them the hand. And to me, it's a big deal to shake someone's hand. Someone don't shake your hand, or if you say hello to them, there's a reason why they don't want to shake your hand or they don't want to engage with you. So then it's like, well, what's the issue? Oh, there's no issue. Well, why would you not have that common respect? Because our people have had, you know, there's people I don't like, but I give that common respect. I know people don't like me, and we give that common respect. It's how
a lot of people don't like me.
You know, it's how our people drive, though, man. It's how our people have communicated and drive, lived in communities. Because you're not going to like everybody, but you got to have that mutual coexisting respect. And when someone breaks that whatever that is, they break that with the nah or whatever. It's kind of like, hey, man, let's address this. And if we're enemies, then I guess that's it. Like, it's messed up, but.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I got more respect for somebody to be like, hey, fuck you, man, I don't like you. Like, okay, cool. At least I know. At least, exactly, and that's the thing I was going to get at. At least I know where I stand with them. Like, hey, look, don't talk to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've told people like that too. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I don't like you, and I don't need to talk to you. Sure. Like, just stay away from me. You know what I mean? But that's what are you going to do? It's like, nothing. I just don't want to talk to you. Yeah. I mean, but if you want me to do something, like come meet me by my truck. I got something for you. You know. But by the way, we're not trying to advocate for violence or any kind of crime. But no, I mean that's like I said that what. So let me go back to the guy that me and him got into a fight. That was the last resort. Because I've tried before, like, hey man, like knock it off, stop talking to me like that. Hey, kick back. You know what I mean? Like, and it went on for like a week. Okay. You know what I mean? And I told the dude, I said, look, man, like, you know what I mean? And so, that morning I said, you're not going to talk to me like that, man. Like, you need to knock your shit off. Yeah. I'm trying to show you how to operate a tool. And that's what it came down to. He was insecure. He was a new, he was a new kid, didn't really know how to operate the tool that good. He thought he did, you know what I mean? And then, then he wanted to call me a fucking retard, and then I lost it. Yeah, and so that's why we were fighting. You know, I know how to operate this thing. Look at me. And it is arrogant too. I was like, out there. He was all arrogant and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, look, I took my tool belt out, just, you know what I mean? And we went at it. But like I said, that was a culmination. That was like the last resort. I'm not just gonna the first thing he says and just clock him.
But you know, there are dudes that wouldn't do crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe you save that youngster.
Yeah.
You know, and in my situation, that's my thought is, you know, like at some point when things are probably cooler, I need to talk to that dude, just let him know, like, hey man, you can't go around and disrespect people this way because there are people who are truly violent who aren't even gonna give you the decency of a few words.
And that's what. And so like after that happened, they separated us, and some of these old guys, that these older iron workers, or whatever, they told him that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey man, look, fucking, you know what I mean? You could run into some guy, and they told him just like that.
Yeah.
You don't know where people are at in their head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wrench you right there.
He's like, the guy's trying. Yeah. He's like, that guy could have. You know, he probably could have hit you upside your head with a piece of rebar. You don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, so you just don't know what hole somebody's crawled out of. You don't know what somebody's been through.
What they're doing that day with their hat.
Right.
You know?
And it goes back to like it all goes back to like what I was saying before about the handshake and all that stuff. Is like, and like you were saying, like I don't know where that person's at in their life and time right now.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going through something. You know what I mean? And I try not to take it personally, but at the same time, like I've been going through some tough shit, and I still greet people.
Sure.
So to me, it's like, you know, even if I'm going through something, hey, hello. And then the next question is usually like, well, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing good. You know what I mean? But that comes afterwards. Usually I'm still good for a hi, a hello, how you doing, a hug, whatever. I like hugging people. You know what I mean? Because there wasn't that much love when I was murdered. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And so
that's something I see more nowadays that I didn't see growing up either. Like it seems like a lot of families didn't have like that real physical touch of each other, you know?
Yeah. Amongst family,
amongst family.
Yeah.
The recovery taught me that. NA taught me that.
Yeah.
NA taught me that. Because there was a lot of people, it's like, you know, they get kind of, you know,
when I started
these guys hugging me for?
When I started hanging out with these guys, that's when I started getting that huggy stuff. I was like,
and I never did that either. I remember first time I gave my sister a hug, and she was like, we gave each other a hug. She had gone through some sad times, you know, she lost her husbands and stuff, and I gave her a hug, and like out of the blue, you know, and I don't know what I had watched at that moment. I was like, you know, like my mentality was like, we need to start hugging more or something. I saw something that educated me to that. So I realized, like, I never tell my family I love them. I tell my kids, but everybody else in my family, even my own parents, I just never would say it. It feels weird, you know?
It's weird.
And to give hugs, so I started doing that, and then we talked about it, my sister and I thought it was very empowering. And then I talked to my mom, and I threw that out there a couple. She always tells me she loves me, but I never said it back to her.
Right.
And my wife said that, you know, you never tell your mom you love her, and I'm like, I need to tell her that. You know, my mom has lost a son, she has lost a grandson, so you know. Something could happen to me, you know, and I would never want her to think that I didn't love her or something. So to say that, but that's something that I know I see in other families a lot, and I see people coming out away from that, getting back to a place of love.
That native culture.
Healing.
That native culture.
People need that. Like, you know.
How much has that affected you and helped you? That
a lot.
Yeah,
it's affected me a lot. It's helped me a lot. It's helped me heal a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And like, so we were all at Tecumseh. When my brother got killed.
Yeah, I remember.
You know what I mean? And so, my best friend, I was supposed to give him a token that night. You know, remember? Because I was, hey man, I gotta go.
Well, we were out of cell phones,
Right. We're all out of cell phone service, and so
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, I didn't get any phone calls till I started going down the mountain and stuff. And so, I get down there and I call my friend, and I was like, look man, I can't do this. I gotta go to the hospital. I gotta find my brother. This and that. I'm in a panic. And I had my boy with me, and so like I finally figured out what was going on, and I just went over there, and that's like, besides my dad, like I've never actually been held by another man, and like I just cried, like just ugly cry. He was like, what's up, bro? What's going on? Did you find out? I said, you know, and I just lost it, and so I was like, you know, and it's helped me heal a lot, you know. Men show emotion.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not hard as a rock, you know, and that's all this other society wants to pound into people's head, like, man, you know, you man up and you do this. There's certain times, you need to man up. Like if we're going to war, there can't be any, you know, stuff for that, you know, this and that. We gotta focus on the mission. But
quit crying around.
Quit crying and shoot this fool.
I can't do it.
I'm only 12.
Oh man.
But you know, it's like that's helped me heal a lot. You know what I mean? I tell people I love them, like you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if I'm gonna see you again.
Yeah.
You know, I know one day I will. But I don't know if, you know what I mean? I
Be a
could be
long
driving, I
time.
could get into a car accident.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of, what do you call them? Extenuating circumstances.
sure.
That just
Health.
happened.
Anything, yeah.
I had that
Health.
experience this year. My dad, he came to my son's, got an award and everything, and we took pictures. My dad would never take pictures, but a couple years back, he started taking pictures of grandkids or whatever.
Right.
He didn't like taking pictures, but
Oh,
I'm glad he
yeah,
started
that's
because
great.
now we have those. But I said, all right, Dad, I'll see you. All right. Took off on his bike, and then that was a Friday, and then the next day, I was up in, it was like the next day or the day after, I was up in San Isabel, and then he had a stroke that night.
Oh, right.
So literally that was the last time I was able to have a good conversation. So then now I'm going to see him, and he's like fighting for his life, and it's still has been like now I can talk to him. There's a little bit of a combo there because he's regaining, but it's been months.
It's still a
It's been
struggle.
months. Yeah, and I'm lucky to have that.
It just
Yeah.
it sucks that in Native culture that it takes something like that.
Yeah.
And because I do see it. There's other because same thing. Like I don't know one person in my family that is a man that I've ever like hugged. And just sat
You
there,
don't even do the gangsta hug? We do the gangsta
It's
hug.
funny, it's crazy because, we're laughing about it, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, fuck.
It's
Yeah.
fucked, Tom.
Yeah.
It's fucking. But
You know what?
mentally-
You need to go hug your Uncle Gator next time.
I want to see.
I want to watch it.
I'm gonna hug that motherfucker with a tire iron, okay? Like, that son of a bitch.
But like, I'll tell you right now, the people who do it, who like,
I would love to watch that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Hey, Gator! Wham!
Start throwing slurs at you and stuff.
my brother won't hug me. That's for sure. I've tried to. We
Anthony won't hug
did
you?
it when we were young, like, cause he hated it. He hated affection. He hated touching people. He just did not like it. He didn't like.
Sounds like he hates himself.
But it's true.
No, I mean, just some people don't like to be touched.
Yeah, some
or-
people don't like being touched.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's that you'll see the love come from them
different ways. Yeah.
in different ways. Though
ways,
they'll
yeah.
be there on time when you need them.
Yeah.
They're there.
So why are you looking at me
You know
every
what I
time you
mean?
say these things? No.
That's all the time we got. Like, wait, what happened to my
Don't be too much. Be on time. Like, God, you just throw me under the bus over here. But yeah, you're right though. Being on time. Yeah, being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do show it in different.
Yeah, there are different ways. You
100%
just got to look at it.
You can
Yeah.
call
You
them in
just
those certain moments.
Right, you call them and they'll be there for the phone call. They'll
Yeah.
be there with whatever they can help you out with.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like the same way. It's like with the movement stuff. If I can make it
Sure.
and I can be there, I will be there.
And that's how you
You know
show
what I
love
mean?
to your people, I think, too.
Yeah,
Right? That's how
and I try
feel.
to do that, and I try to
That's cool.
not do what I used to do, and I try to just be. There's some things that I can never fully make amends for,
Yeah.
other than living a different life. It's like a living amends. Like I live a new life, a new way. I don't do these old things that I used to do, abusive and
I think the best thing about you though is that you don't hide the fact that you didn't do all those other things, and I think that happens with a lot of people. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't me,
Yeah.
and they try to. I understand it. 100%.
I did it.
I understand.
I
yeah.
was high and I was drunk and I did it, and it.
I
you know,
seen it.
Yeah, I seen it. It used to be magic.
Charlie Murphy, here we go.
I'm sorry, I'm not magic anymore.
But you still live with it, and you don't try to.
I don't hide from
You
it.
don't hide from it, and that's the
No.
best thing about that is you don't hide from it. And
No.
if people can understand and they can see that you don't hide from it, other than like other people obviously people don't want they don't want their past to come up, so they want to totally disconnect from that.
Yeah, they're because they haven't healed with that shame.
Exactly, and
And I've healed with a lot of that shame that I've done. I've
That's
been
why you can
abusive.
joke around
I've been
that.
abusive to my mom. I've been abusive to my family, my sisters, my brothers. You know what I mean? We've been in fist fights, cussed them out. Stolen stuff. Everything to get what I needed to get for my drugs and stuff like that. And I'm not making no excuses for any of that. I did what I did. You know what I mean? But I was trying to just fight for my own life, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't truly understand what was going on with me until I got clean. And it was like I heard somebody say, they were like, do you know how long your family watched you kill yourself slowly every day? And I was like thinking, I did drugs. When I started doing drugs when I was like 15, and I didn't stop till I was 29.
Fuck.
And so for like 13 years, 13, 14, somewhere in there years, I was like killing you know what I mean? I was on death row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Waiting.
I was digging my own grave, putting myself in situations that I didn't have any business being in, dealing with people that I had to carry weapons to be around. And it's like at any moment, anything could happen. Guns, knives, whatever. You know what I mean? And I've been all over this county, to get my dope, and I've done all sorts of crazy stuff, to get my dope. And am I proud of that? No. Am I ashamed of it? No. I know what I did. I've done a lot of work. That's where the steps come in.
Yeah.
And for my recovery, I choose to do the 12-step program, and that's where a lot of the healing came from. You know what I mean? And I've been making amends slowly over the years. It doesn't come all at once. You know what I mean? It comes when it comes. You make amends unless, to do so would harm them or others.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So like to make the amends, if it would harm them,
Yeah.
all I can do is live a different life.
I feel like
And
though
not do
13 years, 13 years is like, it's 13 years of experience too.
It is.
It's like
in,
having
in
a job.
bad,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it would be in a bad way. It would be in a way that most people wouldn't want or choose to live.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But all I got is a bunch of cool stories. It's
But at the same time, hey, I appreciate
my
it.
son was born.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing to show
can
for my
take from that.
20s.
You can take for that though.
Yeah.
Same time though, it's experience that's useful and helpful because you are honest. You are honest, and because your honesty, you're able to teach others.
Yeah,
and we're able to learn from you.
And you guys see that. You guys see what I'm broken.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm just a little boy. I'm just a broken little boy, and I want to be held by my mom. And that's what it just.
We got that sound clip, right?
Yeah,
No, okay.
That's just what it comes down to. Like I'm just and all that anger and all the resentment and all that stuff stems from that. You know what I mean? It's just I'm just a little kid inside, and I'm just looking for, acceptance and to be a part of and like everybody else in this world,
Exactly,
maybe,
and that's the key point.
it's
Just like everybody else, we all
just
have
like
that.
everybody else, we
all
got
have
our
that.
own stuff. That's what it is for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm doing the best that I can with what I got every day. You know what I mean? Some people are born into certain stuff, and me, I wasn't born into like poverty or anything like that. I always had what I needed. You know what I mean? And I chose to do what I chose to do when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? But I mean, growing up, I always had the basic necessities.
Yeah.
A roof over my head, clothes, went to good, decent schools, and I was always fed. We always had food, you know what I mean? And, even hard times when we had to move to the res and we're living on commodities and stuff like that up in SY, living in my mom's motorhome and, just struggling there for a minute, all six of us, you know what I mean? And so it's just, it's just life lessons, man, and I won't ever change any of that because that makes me who I am. You know what I mean? All that stuff, I wouldn't change it, Even if they're like, hey, look, we can send you back right now to when you first did dope, and you won't ever have to experience that again. It's like, who the fuck would I be? I wouldn't be who I am today. You know what I mean? So I just got to be grateful for what I
Grateful
went
that
through.
you got past it.
Yeah, that I got past it, because there's a lot of people that struggle that I've seen since I've gotten clean that have died struggling with this thing, like it's a fatal thing. You know what I mean? It's
not all make
ultimately,
it, man.
not everybody makes it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a slim chance, and so like it's big. Like what else is there to do on the res? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Small town living, anything, not even on the res, just like a small town living, even in big cities and stuff. People get bored.
It's hard in the big
and
cities too.
especially in the big cities and stuff, but more so in the small town, small knit community, like the res, people don't want to fucking call people out. Why are you putting my business out there?
Yeah.
That's your fucking aunt that's selling fucking death to people.
Yeah.
That's your uncle. That's your cousin that's selling death to his own people. You know what I mean?
And you can look the other way now, but when you're burying your niece or nephew,
right? Don't be crying around at their funeral, singing their death songs. You know what I mean? When you could be crying around, kicking these people off the res, getting help for them because they need help also. You know what I'm saying?
Start at the root.
Right, start at the root.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And get these people help, the services and stuff they need to better their lives so that they won't be selling that poison. You know what I mean? And that's what it just comes down to. But you know how it is on the res, like, oh, keep it,
Yeah.
hey, we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk
our
about
family.
it. Yeah, it's not our, yeah. Well, fuck them anyways, because you know what I mean. It's so, but
Yeah.
it's just hard. And then a lot of people just accept the reality of what they think is their own reality. Like, this is all it's going to be. I'm never going to get off the res. Or people that are comfortable.
I've heard that.
Or people that are just comfortable living like that. And it's like, I can't, I don't get me wrong, if I had a good job, I'd probably be living in SY.
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because it's home.
Yeah.
Sure.
If I had a decent, I was making good money, if I was making better money than I'm making now, I'd be able to drive to and from work from the res. You know what I'm saying? And I'd like living up there because I love living up there.
Yeah.
It's great, man. There's no place like home. It's in the mountains. We're in the valley right there. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just great. You know what I mean? But a lot of people just have accepted, I guess this is their this is their destiny or something. Like,
Yeah.
it ain't your destiny to live on the fucking res forever. Like,
Well, you know what gets me is, I'm bad at this too, but like the whole res life. Well, it's res life, but it's like a lot of people have only been to their own res. They haven't been to the next res over, some of them. And most of them have been like out of state to see what res life is like in Arizona, New Mexico, or the Dakotas, or Washington, or
I've been
different
fortunate to
areas.
go a lot of places and
Yeah.
a lot of different reservations and stuff, and people out here, we talk shit about each other, and fuck this place, and at least I'm not from this res, type of shit. And it's like, you know what, man, I've been to South Dakota, and I've been on Pine Ridge, and I've been all around Eagle Butte. I've been to Cheyenne River. I've been over to Sisseton. I've been to Rosebud. I've been and these are some pretty fucking crazy looking places where like the jobs are bleak, and people wonder why people are alcoholics, people are strung out on whatever because they're trying to escape the reality of what is going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it's we're kind of fortunate out here in California with the diversity and this and that, but you go back in the Midwest, and you get called all sorts of fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, that's what people on the coast don't realize either. Is like they're still racist.
We're pretty fortunate out here.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I moved to North Dakota did I really realize how fucking crazy it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, with the racist, just the blatant disrespect. And it's just like at basketball games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like crazy like these places in public, and it's like you got these people just going off for no reason just because you're Indian, and it's like, what the fuck?
So if you guys don't know my fucking uncle Gator, maybe I'll put a picture of him up.
Yeah.
No, but he's a big dark Indian, right? He's big, dark as hell. But they had a job opportunity out in Nebraska. I think I don't know what they were doing, but they sent like a bunch of people from SY to Nebraska. And they were doing like some job program.
It's a Gator.
Yeah, Nebraska.
Oh man,
right. So he
I've been in Nebraska,
right? And he's one of those natives that had been in California and he was in San Diego for a long time. So you remember him telling me a story. He was on the phone with me. He's like, man, I'm at this bar. He's like, it's a pretty sick bar. Blah blah blah. We're all watching the game. He said. And people are just blatantly saying fucking nigger all the time. He's like, he's black, he's a big black guy, So he's like, it was so weird that but it's normal at that location. That
literally how it is.
He said
that's so literally how it is
normal.
Out there. It's they don't. This is our country, type of shit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever. Just get the fuck out of my face, man. I gotta go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just try to walk away from all that shit, but like I said, I don't take no shit either. I don't run from it, but I don't go out looking for it.
You
gotta find that balance in life of bullshit.
Yeah. You know what?
Four directions of the bullshit.
They're stuck in their mindset. I'm stuck in my beliefs, and neither one of us are going to change anybody's beliefs.
You're not going to change somebody's opinion.
No.
It's an opinion.
No. So we're at Tecuma, and they get the line of porta potties or whatever, and it's hot as fuck. And so I go and use the bathroom, and I come back out. I just went in there to throw some piss or whatever, and fucking I come back out, and I'm just like fucking. I didn't have no shirt on, you know what I mean? I was just in my regular garb, shorts and flip-flops, no shirt, and I'm just like covered in sweat, bro.
You look like you just got out the sweat?
Yeah. Yeah, right? You know, I was only in there for maybe like a minute and a half. You know, and so here comes Gator. And he's like, oh, God. I got to shit so bad. I'm like, man, shut the hell up. Nobody wants to hear that. And he's just like hanging around. He's like, you know, I was like, dude, go use the bathroom, dude. And he's like, oh, it's too hot, guy. I'm like, just go get it over with. Just go get it over with, guy. You know what I mean? Just go take care of it. And so he goes, and like 10 minutes go by. And we're all there, we're all talking and stuff. And I forget that he's even in there. And the fucking door opens. The thing's like rocking, you know what I mean? Because he can barely fit through the door. You know what I mean? He's as big as the goddamn porta potty himself. You know, and he comes out and he's like, oh. I thought he had a stroke. That's how bad he was sweating.
You thought he turned into Elvis in there.
It came out with peanut butter and bananas and pain pills falling out of his mouth. I don't know how Elvis died in the toilet.
Yeah. That's why he's a king, dude. Died on the throne. Straight up, boy.
But yeah, I was dying. It literally looked like he was gonna pass out.
I remember that.
I do remember that too. That's weird that we don't remember that.
He come out and he was just like, oh.
I'm like, calm the fuck down.
He had a vision in there.
Yeah, literally. You know?
All my relations. Fucking that door swung.
Well, you know, you don't really know nobody until you see them come out of a porta potty or bathroom. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like kind of like you go camping with someone, you see like a different side of people when it comes to that.
Oh man, yeah. Like sometimes it's like the hills have eyes.
Yeah.
You go camping with somebody and they're like, they haven't showered the whole time. It's like, we've been here like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like the river is right there. Literally, just here's some soap. Go in your underwear and go wash your,
I like the camp
go wash your junk. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to live like a rainbow person. Like,
rainbow.
we're Indians. We used to wash ourselves. You know the rainbow people. What
is that?
Okay, so the rainbow people, they're hippies.
Okay.
When I lived in Arizona, that's what they call them. They call them rainbow people.
Really?
Yeah. And they roll around in buses and stuff. You've seen them.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah. You've seen them. You've seen the white allies.
No, dude. I got there to sing or whatever. They're like, hey, we want you to sing at front lines. That day I was there, And I said, all right. So I went out with the convoy, whatever, went there, front line, all that, whatever. I just went to sing some songs of, a prayer for whatever he was there to do. Right. But all I know is like I start singing, and then here come like about 4 or 5 bird dancing rainbow people. You know what I mean? They're just spinning and doing all this dance. And I was just like, whoa, man. Because they always say they're
throwing money down.
I was like,
it's like a bag of weed, a pipe.
Oh man, but yeah, that's right. That's where I really met those people. I was like, wow, these guys are feeling it, man.
Yeah. We call those it's fucked up. We call those expendables.
Oh, that's dirty. Those are our key allies, man.
Those are our allies.
I know you're playing around. But
seriously though, we just push them in the front.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
No, there's a lot of good people, man. One of the dudes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what happened to him. I met him out in Arizona. He had one of those crazy rainbow people name. I don't know what his real name was. He said his name was Calypso. You know what I mean? And he was one of the cooler ones out of him because he was like, dude, I shower every chance I get.
That made him cool.
That's how determines a cool.
You're okay in my book, bro. You know what I mean? And so my ex-wife brought. That's how I met him because he was, I guess, hitchhiking with a couple other people, and I get home and I used to work at this wild game meat processing place, and so I had like a bunch of bison and elk and deer meat in my freezer, and I come home to this guy eating my fucking bison steak, and I lost my shit. This is when I was still getting loaded. And so I come home and I lost my shit, and I was like, who the fuck is this in my house? And you know what I mean? And so this is where my kids were born. And
Imagine
stuff.
how those early Indians felt when the settlers
Yeah.
showed up and ate their bison right in front of them.
Right.
That's how you felt.
You know, just take the hide and maybe a leg and then left it. Get clubbed. And so I come home. That's how I met him. And you know, and I told my ex-wife, I was like, you guys, they gotta go. You know what I mean? And he apologized. Hey, bro, I didn't know. She brought us in, you know, and we were hungry, and she cooked us food or whatever. Just hitchhiking. We're trying to get over here, and I was like, okay, man. You know, I took a shower and I got out. And I was like, all right, man. You know, I'm sorry about all that. You know, I apologize. You know, for being an asshole and shit. And I didn't know the circumstances of what was going on. But you know, he's like, yeah, you should come out. We have this camp, you know, outside of town, and so I didn't know it was like 45 minutes out of town where I lived in Cholo, Arizona. It was out towards, I think it was like, what is that, Borden Ranch Road, out there by White Mountain Lakes. It was past White Mountain Lakes, out in the, out in like the.
Yeah, you're out there.
Yeah,
That's
and
where
I used to live in White Mountain Lakes too, so.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot you used to live out there.
Yeah, I lived out there for 6 years. My
Yeah,
son was
wow.
born out there, and I've been all over that place and stuff. And so.
Shout out to CBQ. I got family out that way.
CBQ.
That's where my grandpa's from. Out that
White
way.
River, yeah, Honda Casino.
Honda. Yeah.
Honda means welcome. So
They say Honda. I say
yeah.
Honka.
I said Helka, right?
Hey.
And so I get out there, and there's like 4 buses or 3 buses, you know, and they're like you know, like these Grateful Dead type, you know, you can tell they live in them. You know what I mean? There's like bunk beds set up. You know, they got like tapestries.
Great paintwork on the side.
Yeah. They had some art. You know, they had some cool like you know acid trip mushroom art. You know what I mean?
Something to go for.
It's like the Santa Cruz screaming hand with the eyeball, and you know what I mean? It's like some cool shit, you know. And there's a lot of drugs. You know, number one, there's a lot of weed. There's you know a lot of hallucinogenics and stuff, and you know, I'm like, how do you guys eat and stuff? And so I guess, you know, some of those get food stamps or whatever, and then some would just go on missions.
Go to someone's house and eat
To the
their
grocery store.
buffalo steaks.
No, I know, right? Yeah. They claim to be hitchhiking, they end up, you know, robbing the meat. So, but that's what they would do. They would go to like like Basha's or Safeway or whatever, and just like do a shopping cart run or whatever. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Whatever.
Just making it up.
Yeah, and so I got to talking with him and stuff, and he was like, yeah, he's like, some of these people out here, man, he's like, they haven't showered. I haven't seen them shower in like 3 weeks.
Ooh,
And I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. And he's like, bro, we go by like rest areas. We go by like creeks. We go by, you know, places, bodies of water. You know what I mean? I was like, he's like, I've even showered, you know, in somebody's side yard with the hose. They didn't know, but I was in my shorts and, you know, some soap and shower, you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah. I was like, man, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, bro, I got it. So I get, you know.
They're like making love in that kind of.
Yeah, I know they are.
You know what I mean? They're
yeah, it's some fucking rough shit, dude.
They're cooking food like that. I don't know.
Probably smells like hippopotamus neck. You know what I mean? It's like, oh,
Fuck.
I got it in a warm turtle tank.
I was trying to think what that was. Wait, what? What did that smell like?
It smells like helicopter smoke, you know?
Oh man!
Like wow,
That's gnarly.
It's like, where's that fire coming from? It's like, oh, it's just fucking
ashy
oh. It's like,
Barbecuing the squirrels.
yeah.
Really?
It smells like chitlins.
That's gnarly. Hey man, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say you know, one cool thing too is, you know, down here in San Diego, we had a lot of people go up to Cannonball, went up to the North Dakota when all that was going on up there at Standing Rock.
Yeah.
And you were living up there already, you know, and I remember thinking that because like like a couple months prior, I had gone through there and we met up in Aid and everything, and so I knew you were up there.
Fargo.
And I remember he hit me up going, yeah, I'm like, I'm out here in a tent, man, like I'm living it. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm thinking like, damn, like Durbin's out there. You know, like he's not making a trip, dropping off supplies, and leaving. Like he's there, he's front line, he's sleeping in a tent, he's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and you spent a lot of time there during that time.
Yeah, I was out there 4 months. That's when, you know, my aunt kind of shamed me into going there.
Yeah, I remember.
She's
that.
like, well, we got people coming from, you know, San Diego going out there, and so all right, well, I'll go over there. You know, and I was working in Fargo. I was working as a millwright. You know, I was tearing down the you know, these grain mills and stuff like that out in Fargo. Anyways, so I was going to camp on the weekends when I still had a job, and the grass was green and it was about knee high. You know, and it was the overflow camp. It wasn't the main it wasn't on the Cannonball. It wasn't on the opposite side of the Cannonball River. It was. It wasn't on the res side. It was on the other side. It was the overflow camp that we kind of like. They kind of just took over.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so I mean, it's all treaty land as it is.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But you know how that goes. Nobody honors the treaty in the government. So, you know. Anyways, it's another story altogether. But.
We're gonna have to do a show just on Dr. Discovery and all that BS. But,
yeah, we got, and then you know a good person to get in on that. We might be able to live video feed is my bro Manape.
Oh yeah, he'd be good.
You know what I mean? He's good. He's good. So yeah, I was out there 4 months. That's when I got hooked up with the American Indian movement. You know, I also went through a divorce. You know, I went through a bunch of stuff out there, and you know what I mean? It is what it is, but I mean, a lot of good came from that. You know what I mean? And a lot of stuff. You know, it was beautiful, man, and I really miss camp. You know.
What made me think of that, by the way, is the showering. You know, like the
and you know, I remember showering down at the damn marina.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember showering at the Cannonball Gym, right there in Seaball.
Yeah.
You know, and so. You know, you had to wait your turn. You're in the gym, you know, and take your stuff in there, and you know, they had some hot showers and stuff, and you know, I lived in a tent for a little while till it got real cold. Me and my son were in a tent. I took him out there for a week or two, and we were out there. He was on the front lines too. I got a few little pictures and stuff. He's all like, you know, masked up.
How old's your son?
He'll be 13 this year in June.
Yeah, so he's youngster.
My daughter will be 5 next month.
Well, I remember looking at like the videos, the live, and I'd always watch them live, and I was showing my class, like my classes at that time. I would try to like, you know, see what they were, and then maybe show some of them what was going down, because you know mainstream media wasn't showing anything.
No.
And I was trying to prove the point that look, there's a lot going on in our world that if you don't know the beaten path, you know, you're not going to see. But I would always see in the background. I'd be looking in the background because there's a lot of times where I'd see you or see Brother Tiki out there.
Yeah.
So you know, he was always up in the mix. And I'd see you guys out there, and it was pretty cool, you know. From a guy down here, I was really proud of you guys up there representing our area.
I mean, you know, and like I said,
I know you guys were doing it for that, but
it goes down to like I was saying before. They called, they put out a call. You know, I was in the area. Obviously, you guys motivated me to get there, and so that's what it was. And so, like I said, it just happened to line up to where my job ended. That's what I was gonna say. My job ended because I was going for about a month. I was going there on the weekends, 2-3 days on the weekends and stuff. And so then my job ended. I went on disability, or I went on unemployment. And I was like, look, I'm just gonna go to camp, you know, and I'm gonna
worked out,
and I'm gonna do, you know, I'm gonna do my unemployment thing, and I'm gonna and I did. I lived off my unemployment, and you know, my bills were paid. My wife at the time. Was working. She's a school teacher. She's still out there with my 2 kids in North Dakota. And so from where the camp was to my house was only 3.5 hours, which ain't nothing. You know, driving for me ain't nothing. I drive from here to Northern California in one day. I'll be good. You know, I don't care about driving. Like 3 or 4 hours is a morning trip for me.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Once you go real far, short drives aren't that big. That's all I know.
No.
Yeah,
once I got to North Dakota and drove. Because everything's like an hour away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where I lived, it was an hour to the store, to the Walmart in Williston. You know what I mean? It's like 45 minutes. You know, it's an hour to my bro's place, Hank Means out in Newtown. You know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, I got hooked up with the American Indian movement. You know, AIM grassroots chapter out of Oglala, South Dakota. You know, and I went
those are the real dudes out there, man. They've been holding it down for.
Yeah, they've been holding it down for a long time for their people. You know what I mean? And you know, the only thing anybody holding it down longer than them is where it originated from in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, you got all wounded knee occupation. They have every end of February, I believe it is, the 27th or the 28th of February is Liberation Day, they call it. You know, I was fortunate to be out there, you know, for that right after camp ended or whatever. And you know, I've been a lot of places, you know, done a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, suited up, showed up, you know, like people call and I come, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I keep a level head, you know what I'm saying? So like, prime example is like, I grew up on and off the res. I grew up in town in El Cajon. And I grew up in San Isabel back and forth, you know, being a little Indian boy, you know, we went everywhere. Saquon, because my great grandmother, you know, was related to everybody. So there was always some place we were going when I was little, and I'm like, who's that? That's your aunt, that's your cousin, this your cousin, this your other cousin. I'm like, holy shit. You know what I mean? So we were everywhere and stuff. And so just witnessing like the police violence in the city, you know, not so much on the res, more so the nepotism on the res. You know what I mean? That's, you know, I'm in charge and I'm gonna keep my family in charge, who's gonna keep their family in charge. It's like, you know, go fuck yourselves.
We can't do it, nobody does it.
Yeah.
Calm down now.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right. And so I get out to Cannonball and stuff, and everybody's like, you know, they're like going crazy. Oh my God, you know, they're losing their minds and shit. I'm like, this is a Tuesday night in El Cajon.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking tear gas and people's doors getting kicked in, fucking search warrant, motherfucker, El Cajon PD, you know, shit like that. I was like, I'm not used to it, but I was more conditioned to it than others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
I was born in the darkness.
Like, what was his name? Billy from Predator? He's like, that ain't no man. He's like, you ain't scared of any man, Billy. He's like, that ain't no man out there. He'll cut his chest with a knife.
That's why you wear the vest and no shirt on. I know that's why. I know it. It's okay. I'm spirit tracker
One of my
for J.
idols
Joe.
right there. Took on the Predator. Yeah. But yeah, so you get out there and I see people losing their minds and stuff, and it was like, you know, it was kind of tragic. You know,
Well, did that affect your sobriety in any way? Like, did it strengthen or weaken?
It didn't.
It's a lot of stress to be under.
It is, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stress, it's a lot of this and that, but, you know, like my bro from Minnesota says, like, recovery ain't for pussies.
Yeah.
You know, like, I get to feel everything today instead of hiding behind a drug. You know,
Yeah.
there ain't nothing in my life right now that my mind can make up some fucking lame excuse to go back to doing dope. You know, and I still remember like the last day, I remember the last week of my using, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And I remember the feelings attached to what I was doing, and that's what keeps me grounded. And I don't ever want to go back to that. Like, you know what I mean? So like me crying in my truck over a girl, me crying in my truck over, you know, my brother being murdered, over, you know, my financial situation, being stressed out is better than any, you know, better than returning to the nightmare that was me, you know, in active addiction. You know what I mean? So like I said, it was pretty hectic out there.
Sure.
Though, you know, there were some days, you know, I was on a bunch of actions, you know what I'm saying? I went to, you know, go support and help as best I can. And
did you see, because I know your personality is not to be that guy, but did you see a lot of people go out there showboating and things like that?
Yeah.
You see
There was a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Little too many selfie
and,
stick pics.
and I don't know if they went out there, you're right.
Got the eagle feathers hanging off the selfie stick. Traditional.
Yeah, off the selfie stick, right.
My selfie sticks beat it.
Blessed by a medicine man. Right? But I've seen a lot of people that went out there for the fame, the GoFundMe stuff.
That picture, right?
The picture, right?
I tried to take one of my camera sucked. I tried though. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I mean? But there was a lot of people that did a lot of good too, like a lot of journalists and stuff. One of my friends, Desiree, she's a photojournalist and stuff like that, and she took a lot of good pictures and documented a lot of good stuff, as well as like a lot of the bad stuff. You know what I mean? And got it out there. You know, and so she's I'm still in contact with her today. You know, and a lot of good relationships came about that. You know, that whole year long. You know, it was like a little over a year that we were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was there for 4 months. It happened to be, you know, 2 of the coldest months of the year. You know, 25 below. You know, 40, 50 mile an hour winds. You know, whiteout conditions. You know, I remember one of the best pictures that I ever seen was a car buried to the top with the window cracked maybe like 3 inches. And like I remember driving by this thing in my truck, and I'm like I'm like, what the fuck is that? And we get closer, I was like, holy fuck, that's a car.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's how high the snow was. Like, and there's the road and then there's the ditch. You know what I mean? And that car, they just abandoned it. You know what I mean? It didn't run anymore, obviously. It was wintertime. And so, that thing probably didn't come out till fucking April the next year, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I bet.
Cause, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't.
That's rock.
Yeah, it didn't get warm till like April, May, usually up there in North Dakota. You know, I remember it snowed. It snowed like in May. You know what I mean? I remember coming out after work one time, got home from work, and it looked like it was gonna rain, and it started getting real cold, and it snowed. And the next morning, the snow was there all night or whatever, and then the next morning it was pretty much melted by then. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. You'll have a snowstorm, you'll have a fucking blizzard, then it'll be like lightning. Like I never witnessed lightning when it snowed. Yeah, that was crazy.
Snowed?
Yeah, that was nuts. I witnessed that.
That's nutty.
And the craziest weather though that I witnessed besides that
feeling.
in North Dakota, South Dakota. I was with my bro Menape out there in Lower Brule, and they had a little camp out there at the other bro Lou's house and stuff, and it was crazy. I thought it was gonna like be some tornadoes and stuff, and I told Menape, I was like, look, dude, if I see you packing your stuff up and you're telling me it's time to go, then I know it's time to go.
Yeah.
Because he's just,
That's where he's from.
Yeah, he's
Go
going out
for
there,
it. Yeah.
Nebraska. You know what I mean? Stay the what do they call it, Tornado Alley.
Yeah, those guys are used to it though, man. I've been there.
Yeah.
Like,
so I just kind of kept it cool and stuff, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I thought like the sky was like coming down.
I went out there one time for a ceremony, and we were in teepees and whatnot, right? And
that's what I was.
I went back to town to get some stuff, and like all the signs were knocked over, and they were like, "Yeah, there's a tornado came through here last night." And I mean, it was bad weather, but I mean, I was just like, really? Like, dude, we were just sleeping in teepees.
And it's no thing to them.
Yeah, they didn't care. It was whatever.
Like how earthquakes are to us.
Yeah.
Like, I slept through that. It was like a 5.5.
And some of those people are like deathly afraid of earthquakes.
Deathly afraid, but they'll live. It was a tornado. It was only F2. You know, that thing picked the car up and threw it on top of that building.
It's like, go sleep in the basement. Call me in the morning.
Yeah,
So you know one way I know that like that whole thing had such a huge impact on culture. I don't know, have you noticed like in movies and like on TV shows, I see it everywhere. People are talking about how they have to like sage themselves down. They have to smudge themselves. I hear that all the time. I see that, I hear it. And I always think back to like Standing Rock. Like, people are out there, doing the spirituality and all that stuff. And they've had a lot of like, allies, non-natives out there seeing that, doing that. And I think that had a huge cultural impact.
Yeah.
Going back, like going everywhere now. You see it like online, and now they're selling it. They're selling it like the little smudge bundles or something like that.
Yeah, and then you get that stuff, and it's like I shouldn't be buying. Like I'm.
But then you're gonna buy it and you don't have time to drive to the mountains. Hope no one sees me buying this.
You told everybody I'm not buying it ever again.
It's got the rainbow colored thread on the
It's all tie-dye.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you gotta, you had a lot of that. You had a lot of good people come in. You had a lot of good allies and stuff like that. But then you also had the the culture vultures and stuff like that. And you just gotta be wary about. You just gotta be aware of, what you put out there.
So before we wrap up, man, like I'm just curious, like what thing do you think you take from that that experience, that time? Like, what do you take away from that, looking back?
We came in a good way, I mean, we weren't armed. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, AIM was there. It wasn't their thing, but they were there.
Yeah.
They were there. And at one time we were, it was a militant type of deal and stuff, and it.
Yeah.
But it's more spiritual now. It's a more,
Sure.
There's women and children and stuff, and I understand all that, but it was good. It was a beautiful thing, and in the end, it kind of twisted like everything else. It got distorted into other things, but the thing is like I just tell people, well, I did that, I heard that, and I was like, were you there?
Yeah.
Did you witness anything?
Yeah.
Well, no, I just seen it. Then shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was there. I seen the people fucking being attacked by dogs.
Yeah.
I seen them bulldoze shit with my own eyes.
Shout out to the Parker Boyd bird singers. One of those guys got like bit at, man.
Yeah,
for singing the bird.
I witnessed things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, and so it all ended up being illegal. The security team and all that stuff that they used and this and that, and you know what I mean. It's crazy. You know, I got people on both sides. I got people that pipeline, and I got people, you know, and then I'm with, you know. But I mean, it's this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I can be whatever I want to fucking be. You know what I mean? This is how I choose to be now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the bottom line. And if you're my friend, you can either roll with it and accept it how I accept you. You know what I mean? I accept your way of living. You know, and that's what you choose to do. And if you don't fucking choose to accept, you know, me being me, you say you're my friend, you say you love me, and then, you know, you got static because I do this, you know what I mean, then fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the bottom line.
100%, man.
You know what I mean? I don't need people like that in my life.
You don't need that evil Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thanks for coming in. We want to thank you for coming in.
Hey,
We're bringing you back, man, because we want to talk more about the camp and this stuff. This is life, man. We appreciate it. Thank you for coming in.
Hey,
before we go, we always do one thing.
One thing, man, a little tradition.
What is it?
You've got to guess which one's in which white bone is in which hand.
So he's got a white bone, he's got a black bone, his left is
Just
right.
one
You know,
finger.
Pure stuff. You're our main hype man. You know what's up. You and Boogie be holding us down throughout the season, which we expect you this year. The extra huts on the hood. So all you got to tell him is it that way or is this way? He's wrapping up right now. You got to shoot him down or not shoot him down. That's where you're at. While he's getting ready.
Disclaimer, Raul is 0-2.
I would be clean. My wife's been
Over shooter. Champion 0-2, we're going that way.
Yeah.
Let's
See, that's because I'm more of the shot caller.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, guys.
That's that magic that you brought. 0-2, now I'm 0-1. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Good night, everybody. In your womb. Have a good one, guys.